Dear respected Thai, dear beautiful community, today we are the 5th of December 2024 and we are in the Assembly of Star Meditation Hall in Lower Hamlet during our 90-day retreat. How many of you are here for the whole 3 months? Wonderful. It's beautiful to be together and experience community living. I remember when just before ordaining, we used to, is that loud enough? Can we make the sound a little bit louder so that I don't have to? Thank you. Yeah, usually 1 week before, something like that, we used to have a breakfast with Thai just before ordaining, so Thai could see every one of us. And of course, when you know that you're gonna having breakfast with Thai, then your mind is going like, oh, you know, he's maybe going to ask questions. And I remember when it was my turn to share, it just came out from nowhere. I was surprised. And I say something like, I would never have thought that I would live in a big community like that. Before joining that stream, I was really more like individualist, like really solo. And maybe those who are living in Lower Hamlet, maybe you can see that I'm still a little bit solo. And after 16, 17 years of living here, I can see how much growth, inner growth, I had just by living with my sisters, mainly my sisters, but also like, you know, working with the brothers and of course you all coming. It's a beautiful journey. And I hope every one of you, even whether you stay 1 week or 3 months, or maybe you are a neighbor, that you also can taste that gift of having a path to embrace our challenges. Because living in a community is not that easy and simple. And Thai used to tell us the Buddha of the 21st century will be a community. And more we can see people having coming together and live together, because we can probably feel that makes more sense to be together and to live together. So today I cook a wonderful dish for you. I put a little bit of the 5 powers. I also add some of the 4 immeasurable mind, boundless love. And then I stir gently with the 4 main bodhisattvas. Okay. So we see how it goes. We know that when we are on that path, whether we just start or it's been a few years, our tradition is really rooted in the Mahayana lineage, meaning the Bodhisattva's path. We are not just on the path to awaken ourselves, but also to help others to awaken. I choose to do it in English because I know most of you speak English. And also when we give a talk or when we have a conversation, there are the words, but there is also something else that we offer, and through the words. So clearly our tradition, the heart of our practice is, of course, generating mindfulness. We all know that. And we have learned many ways to do that in our daily life, not just on the cushion in a meditation hall, but sweeping, washing dishes, brushing our teeth, 100% in doing one thing. For us to be able to access the ultimate, right? That Z. I don't know if some of you have dreamed of that Z. That's the theme of our 90 days. And that's the theme of spiritual practice in general. To have 1 foot on the historical dimension, to be in touch with reality, and also tapping into the spiritual dimension, the ultimate dimension. To go beyond the forms, beyond the appearance, beyond the words, beyond our perceptions, our thinking. And the energy of mindfulness really helps us to feel alive, to be present for life inside this miracle of life, this body. and to access a space where eventually the mind is a little bit low volume, that we can feel a little bit more quiet. Some of the talks that we have listened during this retreat, and also you have received during the lay days, have touched on the power of generating mindfulness, getting into concentration, into that quiet space, inner calm, that can help us to see more clearly reality as it is. And this is almost like a retraining of our neuro system to rewire our neuro system and our habits so we could be in touch with the beauty of life all around us and also in us, in this body, right here, right now. And at the same time, having the capacity to feel the suffering in the world and also inside us. We don't want to enter the space of denial or to repress, nor do we want to feel guilty from maybe past wrongdoings, our own or maybe our ancestors. And for that, we absolutely need to keep in mind the 4 elements of love that are called Brahma Vihara, which means the dwelling place of God, Brahma. They are also translated as immeasurable mind. That means there is no limit for growing love. And that's a good news. And in our daily life, there are so many opportunities for us to cultivate, to generate, to touch those 4 elements in small actions. Doesn't have to be big. A small act of kindness, a smile, or someone is not feeling well. Maybe that person needs a hot cup of tea, or maybe just to rest, and then you can propose to replace them to do pot washing or something. And that's the beauty of the community living. That we can rely on each other. We can ask for help. often in the Q&A, when Tai was still with us, and also still now, we can have some questions around something like, my job is to help people, but it's too much for me, basically. I drown with the suffering of the people that I'm trying to help. So for many of us, we have a desire to alleviate suffering in the world around us. And in the world today, we are witnessing deep, deep, deep suffering. So how do we take care of ourselves? That's the first thing we need to do. And to see that we are not, to remember that we are not separated from each other. When we feel maybe powerless, when we see that even the international organism cannot stop genocide, then we could ask ourselves, why? Where does all of this come from? We will listen to a sound of a bell, breathe together, acknowledging that we are the lucky ones, feeling gratitude to be here and to be in touch with Thai's legacy. In those kind of situation, many of us, we don't know what to do, how to help. But there must be something that we know. And this is the place where we can stand. Many things that we know. In every moment, I can come back to myself, to the present moment that contains the past, the present, the future. But for that, you need mindfulness and you need concentration. And it's not something that you press the button. It doesn't work like that. This is really some kind of energy that you cultivate day after day, throughout your day. And you step in the known at every moment. You know everything is impermanent. How wonderful it is to be alive. What do I want to do with my life? Awaken the great vows with joy, with love. I know that we are not separated from each other, and that when I am cultivating positive vibration, hi Bob, yeah, this is also one of my masters. Even though maybe we don't see, maybe there's nothing concrete, but you must know and feel. And through the quantum physics, we know this is part of our reality. This is our fabric. That we are waves. And that's why when someone is, let's say, like very kind all the time, you want to be close to that person. Because those vibes, feels good. And so the first element of true love is kindness, metta. Many of you have heard about metta meditation, or maitri, which means friendship. And if you reflect a little bit, the first person that is benefiting from a kind thought or gesture, or it's yourself. So maybe next time, be aware of that energy of kindness that is in all of us, and feel how it feels in your body. Allow yourself to feel it. Metta meditation is often used for self-compassion as well, which could be related to self-love, self-acceptance. And this is what we are learning to do in our practice, is to recognize emotions, thoughts, feelings arising in us, allowing it to be, not acting on from them. It's different. But we don't repress. We can say, hello, my dear little pain, I know you are there, and I am here for you. Even sometimes it's uncomfortable. Maybe sometimes we don't even want to see it. We don't want to look at it. And it's okay. We take our time. But we kind of know, okay, I know you are here. I will look at you maybe later when I am more stable. And when I am more stable, for me, means when I have more peace inside and more joy. Often in the Vietnamese text, sutra, it goes together, I think. Unlike. My 5 mindfulness training name, I love it. It's True Happiness. They make a mistake. Normally I shouldn't have the true, because it's for the 14. And and I think this is really something deep inside to navigate daily life with my compass and seeing what is nourishing, what is not nourishing. I know you have had a recent lay Dharma talk on the 4 nutriment. And for me, the 4 nutriment goes with the 4 right efforts on knowing what to nourish and what not to nourish. And at the same time, not being in denial of what is real. And as human beings, what is real for us is our 5 skandhas, our body, our mind, emotions, our consciousness, individual consciousness and collective consciousness. And we know that we interact at every moment. There is a physics theory, the string theory, which tries to explain and include quantum physics and mechanical physics to explain the whole world phenomena. And I invite you to mindfully go online and look at the pictures of, some artists have, or, and it's beautiful to see, just like as if life was a symphony. So instead of visualizing a particle with 1 dot, we visualize a particle as a string that is vibrating. And of course, we are all vibrating. And then and this is what it's all about. And when we heal ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper, we also heal our ancestors, and we create possibilities, infinite possibilities for future. The linear time and space is not applicable. And this deep looking and understanding can help us to cultivate patience, perseverance, resilience, patience with ourselves first. Sometime we want to already arrive. Where? I don't know. Maybe you can ask yourself that question, like whenever you feel impatient about yourself, where do I want to go? What is it waiting for me? There is only one moment, is now. At every moment. Love. Love, love, love. Love as the ground for action. Yeah, we need a little bit of action. Healing is action. Deeply touching inner peace inside of us while breathing, while walking on earth is action. We have a tendency to want to do something. We want to fix the problem, find a solution and do. And we are invited to be. And through our way of being, our action will have a much deeper impact. You know, I have that image of throwing a stone in the water, you know, like the doing will be like, boop. And then the doing while being in connection with a deeper purpose, a deeper sense of the beauty of life and its fragility, fragility is like, you know, when you do the and then it creates waves and we are very lucky to be, I feel very lucky to be in this tradition and to have had the opportunity to be close to Thai for a few years and to witness his aura, his love, his inclusivity, his joy, humor, and also a Zen teacher. And we know that Thai has gone through very deep difficulties, through wars, exile, and never give up on love and understanding. Thai would say, be peace. Don't talk about it. Be peace. One of his good friends in the time of the Vietnam War was Martin Luther King. And I would like to read a quote from the speech that he gave in 1964 when he received the Nobel Peace Prize. And we will listen to a sound of the bell at the end of the quote. I would like you to maybe close your eyes. So this is Martin Luther King speaking. Non-violence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for mankind to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to oppression and violence. Mankind must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love. The foundation of such a method is love. And Thai would say the same. I cannot find the quote. But I have another great leader, which we all know is Gandhi. Speaking about non-violence in 1940. Non-violence is not a garment to be put on and off at will. Its seat is in the heart, and it must be an inseparable part of our being. And Thai would say something like, love is a practice, is a process. Non-violence is a process, is not a strategy. Gandhi is telling us, in doing something, do it with love, or never do it at all. So we can contemplate our daily life and ask, where is the love? Where is our love? Are we growing love through our words, body actions, and thoughts? Are we growing compassion? And it's okay if we are not. Then we can say, oh, I'm judging. I'm reacting, you know, it's okay. But we need to look at ourselves, because all the atrocity that we see today come from deeper patterns of humankind that has not been looked at and healed for many, many generations. And today, all the mud is coming up. We can see it. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And at the same time, we do have a spiritual path that connects us with a deep purpose, great love, a sense of connection. When you feel connected to other people, to life, you don't want to destroy life. You don't want to destroy people. Separation, isolation is what brings us to conflict, to war, because we cannot see the other as our own blood. I would like to bring into the space another person who was really engaged in his time in the civil rights in the US, James Baldwin, a writer. There is never time in the future in which we will work out our salvation. The challenge is in the moment. The time is always now. Stepping into the now. What can I do now? Right now. If there are emotions coming up, I think they are right now. For us in that space. How can I cultivate the ability to hold, to embrace the pain, the emotions, the anger, the frustration, the sadness? Gandhi is telling us, you may never know what results come of your actions. But if you do nothing, there will be no result. So this is an invitation from that little man to look into how can we act. And sometimes action is in our surrounding. Maybe that's the easiest. We are, like I already say, often in the doing mode, forgetting that maybe being is the most important. And in the same aspect, we often want a result. And something that perhaps we could experience while walking on the spiritual path, connecting ourselves with greater purpose and connection, is the power of faith. For many of us, I believe that we have probably experienced already the taste of a little aha moment and understanding about ourselves. Maybe a fruit of having a little bit more peace, maybe more joy, more acceptance. And when we experience fruits, when we can taste, then it nurtures the seed of trust, of faith in life's capacity that is in us to renew, to heal, to transform without us having to do anything. It's not by the will that healing happens, but by creating a loving space to allow what needs to come up in order for us to look at it gently, with care, with also time to understand, to create a relationship with that wound, the wound that we carry since maybe the birth, maybe through our parents, grandparents, and we can go back to the hunter-gatherer time, the survival mode, the fear is in us. So by developing the energy of mindfulness and concentration, we could open doors of understanding. Understanding not with the mind. Tai is telling us understanding is means to throw away your knowledge. So we understand with the heart, with the gut, with our body. it needs to be embodied. And every cells in our body will vibrate. Woohoo! Mm. And we know the body and mind are connected, they are not separated. And even more, we have, in terms of our well-being, there is a biological, psychological, spiritual, social, ecological aspect. Many people are developing some kind of illness, and it's not just because of the body. Maybe it's also because of where they live. Maybe because of what they think about themselves. Being maybe in low self-esteem or things like that. So I still have a lot of things to say. Maybe I will go to the board that will help me to stay a little bit more focused. Mindfulness is the core, the center of the quality of our presence, of our awareness of what is happening. And we know that if we keep continuing to develop this energy of mindfulness, moment after moment. I don't know if in the other Hamlet you practice slow walking meditation. That's pretty effective, I think, as a gateway to feel what it means to be in a concentrative state. And in that state, I mentioned earlier that there is an inner calm, inner peace. Is not the type of concentration when you focus. Something that is part of my core practice is to relax. If maybe you only remember one thing, it's a simple word, but it's very effective to notice all the tensions we have in the body, in the mind, the gross tensions and the subtle tensions. And to be able to relax, you need to feel safe, right? And for our friends in war zone, particularly in Gaza, where there is no safety. Their way of finding a little space of faith and hope and safety is through God. That's only what they have left for now. All the children, they learn the Quran by heart. And this is where they, maybe touch a little peace in their heart. And so we are the lucky ones. And so how do we use our vital energy? Do we waste our time? Or do we want to taste the fruits of the practice? And touch faith in the goodness of humankind. That's what we are doing here. We are not perfect. Perfection. Perfection is a disaster. If we are always looking for perfection, we will never be able to celebrate life, touching joy. We will always compare, judge, react, because it's never good enough. Never good enough. And when it's never good enough, often we also feel we are not good enough. And we feel ashamed. Anyone? And it's okay. It's okay to feel like that. To be aware of it, to embrace ourselves as part of the universe, and to see that we are made of stars. We are not what we think we are. Especially we are not what we are telling ourselves. The stories that we are telling ourselves, or maybe the stories that we've heard when we were younger about ourselves. I was often the last one at school, and I remember, and my sister was the first one. And I remember there was a moment in my teen years where my parents and myself, like, okay, what are we going to do about myself? You know, it's like, oops. Well, it's okay, right? Good job. Where am I going? Shame. Yes. Be beautiful, be yourself. Tai is telling us. We are part of the universe. We are stars. We are what we want to do, to be. So it's up to you, up to us. There was one of the French Francophone retreat in, don't remember which year, when the topic was, when we have joy, everything is possible. And here comes the Bodhisattva Samantabhadra of great action. We are not in the doing, in the action, in order to get somewhere, but we are in action because of that source of joy. Like an energy, a kind of energy that bring us away from the energy of despair. There is a vitality that needs our attention. Question: in my daily life, can I touch my enthusiasm? Is there any dynamic? Is there, like, can I feel, that vital energy in me? Wanting to participate. Not necessarily doing. I'm choosing the word participate because there are many ways to participate into the collective. We've already talked about the wish we have, kind of the natural wish we have for all beings to be happy, to be safe. Metta, kindness, loving kindness. That can be manifested through the Bodhisattva Avalokita, the one who listens to the cries of the world. Embracing everyone in their heart, in their loving kindness, even those who are lost in greed, in power, in destruction. True love includes everyone. And that has been a clear transmission of our teacher. And of course, to include everyone doesn't mean we accept And there is a quote from James Baldwin about love. Love does not begin and end the way we seem to think it does. Love is a battle. Love is a growing up. To grow in equanimity, inclusiveness, is not something easy to do. But when we are in touch with the deep wisdom of interbeing, of we are not separated, of if maybe I was born in that place, in that moment of evolution, maybe I would have done things that are reproachable. Earlier, I've talked about the seed of patience and resilience that we can combine with our capacity to maintain our peace despite the ups and downs, despite things that are changing, situations that are pleasant, unpleasant. Of course, there is the feelings of unpleasantness, correct? Yes? Okay, look at you. Unpleasantness, or the feelings are there, but we are not drown and act from them. Is that clear, what I'm saying? Yeah. And those qualities can be manifested through the Bodhisattva Kshitigarbha. Maybe. That can endure. That can go to places, like the image is that Kshitigarbha goes to the hells to relieve suffering from the hells. Our actions of body, speech, and mind are our true belonging, our karma, individual karma, collective karma. And through action, we can heal the wound that we carry from our ancestors of guilt and shame. Instead of being in denial, pretending it's not here, it's there. And we have a gateway, a way out, through sacred action, spiritual action, the being in the doing, in the speaking, in the thinking. We set boundaries, healthy boundaries for recognizing what belongs to us and what does not belong to us as an individual. Of course, as a human being, everything belongs to us. All the mud that we see belongs to us. So we take responsibility for our actions. In French, le royaume de l'esprit est mien, je choisis où je veux aller. The kingdom of the mind is mine, I choose where I want to go. Hell and heaven, I know them both. I know them both. Where do I want to go? And if I'm seeing myself going maybe towards hell, can I stop? Breathe. My pattern, my highway. Ooh. And then we go to the forest and we make our way in through, often in the spiritual path, we often have to go deep down in the dark to find the light. And we don't do it alone. Oh, there is I didn't know that practice, dark therapy. So for a few days, or like if you are really advanced, like the Tibetan monks, they do like 49 days. To touch the light within. But we have to be ready, of course. Just like when you jump into a lake, you have to know how to swim before you jump. The reason why those 4 elements of love, the 4 immeasurable mind, the 4 dwelling of God, if that speaks to you, is so important in our life. It's so we don't burn out, we don't drown. Because in those 4 aspects, of course, we include ourselves. So by generating metta, kindness, compassion, equanimity, joy. We are the first one to receive those energy. So if you find yourself a little bit depressed, a little bit, look, what did I do today, yesterday, since 1 week, since 1 month? What kind of nutriment did I allow to come in? Our consciousness is never static, always receiving input and output, always. And that's why transformation and healing is possible. But that also means we need to let go. Letting go of our stories, ideas, even maybe ideas of peace. If we are stuck in an idea of peace over there, how can we find peace here, now? The moment is now. It's inside. Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of great understanding, all of this is just a game. Huh? You can put everything in different orders. When we remember, thanks to the energy of mindfulness and concentration, that we are all one. Human, animals, plants, minerals, water, stars, wind, fire. Then we don't want to hurt anyone. And even we want to respect and protect life through all its forms and honor life. Honor life also means to honor our strong emotions. Yes, I have anger. Yes, I am sad. Yes, I feel happy. Those are messengers. They are telling us something. Are we listening? A quote from Gandhi about happiness. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Aligning thought, speech, and action with moral and spiritual integrity. This is a big topic of our time. And maybe we don't, I'm going to say something, maybe we don't care so much about the outcome of our actions, of our conversation. Because what is the most important is this alignment that Gandhi is talking to us about. alignment. So, in case for some of us we may not be familiar with the 5 powers, these are the 5 powers. Mindfulness, faith, trust, that can give us energy to continue on the path. And we've heard many times that those 3, mindfulness, concentration, and insight, wisdom, understanding, are linked together. And I would like to finish by adding something from another teacher, another teaching, which is not a Buddhist teaching, but it has helped me. So I would like to share it with you, and I've mentioned this. So it's the teaching of the Gene Keys. And in that teaching, it is mentioned about the wound that I have mentioned during this talk: guilt, shame, separation. When we feel disconnected, and it starts very early, when mom is away, and we feel the separation with our mom or father or the one that are taking care of us. So those wounds are really part of our DNA. They are part of us. And our job is to recognize, oh, okay, maybe I feel a lack of connection. I feel not belonging. I think this is also something many of us experience in our life, to feel not belonging. And maybe some of our ancestors felt like that. Okay, time passed, so I'm just going to thank you for your patience. Do I allow my thoughts, my emotions to be, just to be? And even sometime, hey, maybe to share about it. Hey. Self-acceptance. With the energy of compassion, we can embrace our maybe dark side. And we can tell ourselves, yes, this is part of what I have received. of what I have produced in terms of speech, action, and thought. And this denial is often linked with the energy of anger. No, I'm not like that. And mindfulness give us the power to liberate ourselves through looking deeply into some aspects of who we are as a human being, as an animal who wants to survive, who have a defense mechanism, strategy to receive love, to give love. I have mentioned peace as a consequence of generating the energy of mindfulness, which can also be called the gift of non-fear. When you feel there is no more separation between you and the stream of life, then you're ready. You're ready to go and help. With skillful means one L where? Like this. We talk about skillful means in Buddhism a lot. Knowing what to say, to who, when, where, which kind of door of liberation are we going to use in that particular moment, facing that particular topic. Something I haven't yet talked about. I'm just going to put it here. Just for those who are often doubting. Not sure about this community or this path or this training or about myself. Am I capable? Am I allowed to? I don't know. Maybe when you find yourself in that space, allow it to be and relax. Not having to arrive anywhere. Not having to do anything. And by being really present, then there will be a moment where there is a understanding, a clear, ha-ha, moment. And it's okay. Not to know where this will bring me, because deep inside there is a connection with the energy of life that we need to keep alive. And in fact, in the unknown, there are infinite possibilities. It's up to us. But the ground of the unknown is presence. The ground of the unknown is here, now. Here, now. How do I deal with whatever is coming up? Here, now. What am I learning in the here and the now? What am I not able to embrace yet? What am I trying to avoid, to ignore? We are our best teacher if we listen. And to be able to listen, we need a kind of silence that is a noble silence. And from that space of the unknown, of infinite possibilities, of silence, we know what to do.